Okay. Check. There it is. Damn. Oh my God. That was a little bit stressful. This thing got selected in OBS. Hello, everybody, by the way. But this thing got selected in OBS, one of the scenes items, and it was just stuck there. And I was in the process of having my audio device selected, but it wouldn't take because that thing was selected, and I had to first exit that in order to say okay to the audio. And that's, yeah, OBS adventures. It's a good time. How is everybody? There's a lot of people, in the chat already. Hello to Alejandro, Kazuki, Al Paul, Ed Sweetman, and yeah, that's who's in there. And Kazuki saying he submitted 2 teasers. You should totally play both because one is less than a minute long. And Al Paul says cheating. It's true. We'll see. We're going to play the one that I have queued up, and then if there's time, we'll play a second one. Otherwise, there we go. But yeah, we got the audio going. Let's check all of our cameras, just make sure. Yeah, that one's good. This one's good. Okay, great. And the desktop bottom right, let's change that. Yeah. Let's just make sure that all of our scenes work correctly. After that one scary little minute there. And desktop bottom right. Oh, it looks like some Al Paul's queued up. Yes. We got a lot of great stuff tonight. I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine new offerings from the community, which is fantastic. And some really a really wide array of musical styles and whatnot. And I actually got to listen to most of it previously, which usually I don't have the time to do that, or I think it's not really an issue of time. I think it's more an issue of organization, to be honest. Anyhow, we're going to get into it. What time is it? 8:06. We're 6 minutes in. We're right on time. That's good enough. Some of the things that we need to go over before we start streaming, for anybody who might be in the stream watching, who is new to this and is unaware of the format, unfamiliar with the format, what we do is we look at music that is created by our community, and our community is pretty broad. It involves the Bandless community. It involves people from more of the Bunn side of things, like, my YouTube channel and my own Discord and these sorts of things, and even things peripheral to that, people that maybe I'm connected with personally, or that I'm connected with through one of you. Sometimes members of the community recommend other things and have links for other things that are a little bit distant, a little bit removed from our community. So it's not like an exclusive community thing. It just so happens that's the thing that works right now because, I don't know, it's a small endeavor, and yeah. So every Bandcamp Friday, which is the first Friday of every month except for June. In June, it's Juneteenth, which I think is the 13th or the 19th. Might be the 19th. But Juneteenth, Bandcamp Friday is then, and it's a different format. Bandcamp doesn't waive all of their fees or their cut. They take their cut and they donate it to charities. For, programs that help with diversity and all that kind of stuff. It's very cool. So in June, it's on a different day, but it still happens in sort of the middle of the month. Otherwise, the first Friday of every month, there's Bandcamp Friday. And whoever in the community submits tracks or shares stuff, we try to play it. We usually play all of it. And we only listen to samples. That's the sort of kicker part right there. And the reason we listen to samples is because we're not really a radio show. It's more like a sharing thing. It's a live stream to share what folks in the community are doing and, to bring people together and to expose ourselves to new ideas, like new artistic ideas, musical ideas, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what's happening. I share a link from every profile that we feature on the stream. So if you hear something that you like and you're like, wow, that's cool, I want to go back and listen to it, or I want to buy it. If you buy it, Bandcamp Friday, Bandcamp waives their fees. The artist takes all. So it's an amazing day to support the artists that you're fond of. And yeah, it's not about support. Like if you like it, buy it. It's sort of, it's a little bit selfish as well. It's a win-win. The artist wins, you win if you so choose to purchase the tunes. So that's the way it works. We're going to get into it. Oh, I see a Shawn Heath and a Darlington in there. Good to see yous. Anyone else new I missed? Nope, that's everyone for the moment. Great. I hope you guys are stoked. We're going to get into it right now because I'd rather have time at the end to hang out and chat rather than, be down to the, try and squeeze in 20 things at the very end. So with that said, we are going to go to BAM. Our first entrant. I figured we'd start with a banger. This is our pal Al Paul in the community. His project is called False God. He is situated over in Ukraine and he's staying safe over there and making tunes, which is amazing. And this is a new track for him and a little bit of a first, at least a first on this stream, where he usually submits instrumentals. And this is the first vocal track that I've received from him. So that's going to be exciting. Al Paul produces everything himself. In this case, the vocals are a collaborator. Like how I overpronounced that, a collaborator. And the collaborator is Crown Camo, vocalist. Crown Camo is going to show up twice today, which is interesting. But we'll save the surprise till later. But yeah, Mr. Al Paul and his project False God. It's a one-man show. It says right here, actually, one-man band, Genty and Thal stuff. So yeah, with that said, let's let it rip. Very heavy, very cool to hear it. I got to, music's still going. I can't concentrate. Amazing. So yeah, very heavy, very interesting to hear the material after, so many months, maybe a year. It's been over a year, I think, that since I've been familiar with False God and El Paul's project. He corrected me here. He says that Crown Camo is a member of the project. So yeah, it's now a two-person project. Pretty soon it will be a whole band. That's going to be awesome. But yeah, it's interesting to hear it with vocals because I've heard it with, being instrumental for so long. And it's an interesting little dance of vocals and all of the intricate, trade-offs and whatnot that El Paul is famous for. So excellent track, El Paul. And I'm, of course, as always, stoked for more. I've dropped the link in the description, or not in the description, in the chat. And if you go visit the project, you'll notice that there's a lot more there. And that's going to be the case for quite a few of these tracks that we share today. There's a lot more on the profiles, so snoop around if you're, interested in what you're hearing. And yeah, it's Bandcamp Friday. I'm going to queue up the next thing. I don't know if I mentioned earlier when I was explaining how things work. I play about a minute of every track in and around. -6 seems to be the number today on the volume. What do we got next here? Moving on to Darlington. Daryl from out of Queens, New York. And Darlington, another solo artist, solo producer, solo musician. I'm sure no fear in terms of working with other people, but most of the stuff that he shares is, what do you call it? Bandless. It's solo type stuff. And usually, I don't know how to, it's like intricate and like usually quite catchy and kind of mathy, but because it's catchy, like it's simple enough in concept to latch onto. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked for it. So we're going to play it. I'm going to stop talking about it. And here we go. We're going to do Troposphere, not the beat only. We're going to do the full track. So, bam. Cool. I was like waiting for the modulation, the key change. Not sure if everyone knows what I'm talking about, but he actually notates it here, where modulates from F major to C minor-ish to C major. Some jazz going on, which is nice, which is cool. And so this instrumental, or not instrumental, but the beat only portion that he included, the second track, if you download it, it's for people to play over, which is super cool idea. I dig that. I really dig that. Highly appreciated, Darlington. Beat's still going. So that is, let's go back to the big camera here. Bam. Reset the gain. And that is Darlington from USA, Queens, New York, USA. And always a treat from Darlington. It's always a treat, actually, from everybody. But I definitely look forward to some of the mathy, groovy stuff, the jazzy stuff, when it happens. So, yeah. Just dipping into the chat here for a moment to see who's new, what's cooking, all that kind of cool stuff. I see a few new happy faces. Wow, I see a lot of activity. I see a brand new Marauder Music in there. Is Crown Camo a member yet? He's asking. And El Paul, totally the first feature for False God. And Kazuki says, yep. Marauder says, sweet. Yes. Okay. Very awesome. So yeah, how you doing, Marauder Music? I hope everything's good with the cause. Always good. It's always a good day when the cause shows up. Your smile and your energy are always stoking. We also have a Synth Chris in there. Synth Chris, how are you, man? Where's your track, Synth Chris? I know you only released 10 track albums. But I hope you're good, man. And I think he's talking here about, I'm kind of gone back a little bit in the chat here, talking still about El Paul's Jam. El Paul's Jam was tasty. And Cathedral Sound, how are you? Another new face in there. Hope you are well and enjoying your Friday night. We are jamming here. And Darlington, you guys are digging the jazzy vibes. Nice. Yeah, I love the jazzy. I don't know what to call. I'm searching for words to describe this very subjective thing of music. So if my words don't seem like the right words, I apologize, but you can substitute whatever my words for description are with your own, and we'll be happy. And the groove is immaculate, and Darlington is saying, Chris, Synth Chris, he wants to hear some synths on that groove. The beat is there for you to download, and if you want to put some tasty synths on there, Chris, you can do it. And you're still going to have to modulate from F major to C minor-ish, though. And what is C minor-ish? Does it mean that it's a C minor with a sharp 6? It's sort of minor because the third's flat, but not a sharp 6, but a C minor with a major 6. Because usually the 3 and the 6 is flat, but if you sharp or if you don't flat the 6, is it minor-ish? I don't know. Nerd stuff. Electric Meat Puppet, good morning. How are you? Hope you're well. Very cool to see a bunch of familiar faces in the chat. I'm going to play some more music because that's what we're here to do. We're going to go to some Rizal. We've got some Rizal in the house tonight. And this is going to be some very cinematic vibes. Rizal is from, I believe, Michigan. I can't remember. It used to say in here. But anyhow, Rizal is an artist from Michigan and a frequent flyer here on the Bandless show. And an epic number of releases. 29, I think, in the last year. They're all singles, but still, it's an epic amount of stuff. But here we go. Gain is set. Here we go. Frozen Still is the track. The suspense. There we go. Volume was down. Very cinematic jams from Rizal. And whatchamacallit, the link. I always try to make sure to get the HTTPS in there, because sometimes the links don't work if the HTTPS isn't in there, which I don't know why. But yeah, anyway. So that's Rizal's jam. Where's my OBS? Here it is. All right. Back to the big camera. Going to queue up another. Going to reset the gain up to -6. -6 is the number today. Is it too loud, too quiet, too whatever? I try to get it as loud as possible without clipping. But, you know, you kind of want to be careful, like a little bit less than as loud as possible so that it definitely doesn't clip, because clipping sucks. And what do we got here in the chat? Electric Meat Puppet. Yeah, I'm good. Sold the house, moved, and building out a truck. Looking at selling half of my guitars to downsize, which is hard. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Selling. I have a hard time selling any guitars ever. I have sold guitars in the past and I regret selling every single one of them. You know, I know a lot of people who've like sold guitars to get guitars, and I've done that, but I really regret it. You know, one big one, a couple big ones. I had a BC Rich Eagle, BC Rico Eagle, and that was such an amazing guitar. Les Paul, scale length, short guitar, but like it was so amazing. Got rid of that. I had a custom made guitar by this local luthier company guitar store called 12th Fret. That was amazing. It was an amazing guitar. Stupid to get rid of that. I had a BTB, an Ibanez BTB, 35-inch scale, 5-string bass. Amazing. Oh, when I think of it. Whatchamacallit, Shawn Heath is saying it sounded a little crackly to me. Yeah, Rizal's tracks are usually very textured, and they'll have all kinds of effects in them. And so that one is intentionally textured in that way. They're, you know, very cinematic in that way. Some people might not like some of the treatments. It depends what your tastes are, I suppose. Last track clipped, but it might be the track. Yeah, Rizal's track is has like speaker clip in it, like what sounds like speaker clip. And Kazuki saying, I know a couple of years ago on the baritone roundups that you said you wanted a Hagstrom Viking. Did you end up ever getting one? I did, and it came in a messed up way, and it went back. And that's the closest I ever got to getting a Hagstrom baritone. The thing is, at this point, though, like 28-inch scale isn't, it's too much of a struggle for me, at least for G. Like, I like 29.75. 28.625 works, but 29.75 for G is like just so good. So good. So yeah, I probably will never get a Hagstrom Viking because I don't know what I'd use it for. Anyhow, moving along here, we've got Struggler, and it is by Save Rooms. This is new to the Bandless stream, and from California, Idlewild Pine Grove, California, and it says right here, Save Rooms is an American alt-rock, alt post-core band from Idlewild, California. The band formed in 2022 and currently consists of vocalist and guitarist Alex Hernandez and vocalist and drummer Preston Pino. Cool. So a duo project. Let's check it out. We're set to go? Yes, we are. is pretty interesting. I've never heard a sound like that, especially just the way that those electronic or synthy kind of elements, that boop, beep, boop, 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 are kind of interacting with everything, and carrying a theme through the whole thing. Yeah, interesting. I'd like to hear more. A little crunchy. That's definitely not my gain settings. So yeah, it is definitely a treatment on the track. We are going back to the big camera here. We're going to reset and get on to the next one. That was a cool first time on the stream. I'm definitely curious to hear more in the future. What do we got here? We're resetting the gain. That's what we're doing. Scott, pay attention. Too many things. I need 2 brains and 2 sets of hands, and everything will be okay. Marauder Music says, heard another band that has this raw production style, was done in a NY vintage analog studio. Cool. You all captured that. Yeah. Alejandro, bleep blops. Yeah, I like the bleep blops. I think the bleep blops were pretty cool. And Kazuki is saying, analog is where my heart is. You should get a 4-track, man. Fool around with a 4-track. They're fun. You can actually get really good results with a 4-track if you do it right. There's a lot of bouncing and whatnot. But yeah, it can be pretty cool. And Cathedral Sound says, kind of Sleep Token-esque. I dig it. And El Paul says, it's interesting that the drums sound right in the face like a metal crunch tracks, but it sounds okay in this track. Yeah. Gunky Zip, you're late. It's fine. We're not mad at you. Not yet. Anyway, we might get mad at you. And Kazuki asks for recommendations on a 4-track. Try and get something from the 80s or early 90s. TIAC or Tascam or Fostex. TIAC and Tascam, same company, as far as I know. And they were really great results. Like you could get like a loud signal on them, slightly lower preamp noise and stuff like that. So better signal to noise ratio. As 4-tracks came along, as they got cheaper and technology got better, the 4-tracks actually got worse. So yeah, try and get something from like the late 80s, early 90s. The bigger units. I can send you pictures later, but or like eBay links or whatever. I've had a few of them and they sound great. Super fun. Gain is reset. Let's go back here to desktop bottom right. And we've got queued up here Flynn's Ego, or just Flynn in this case. And this is our pal Lamond from Scotland, UK, bringing us new tracks. And but this is his Flynn project. Track is called, or the EP is called Eddie. We're going to listen to Eddie right off the top. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. We're going to listen to approximately a minute of it and get her going. Flynn has been, or Lamond has been, very ambitious this past year. I spoke to him over the Christmas break around that time of the year, and he was like, oh, I don't know how much I can get done. And he didn't think he was going to do too much. And he's done like so much new stuff in the past year. Like, you know, from last summer to now, he's got a whole bunch of tracks out, which is cool. Anyhow, solo artist, Lamond records everything in Audacity, believe it or not. And it sounds really good. Oh, you can tell that I already listened to it. Let's refresh so it starts at the beginning. And here we go. I'm just getting into it here. That is Eddie by Flynn's Ego. Always kind of groovy and interesting hooks, just different. I feel like Lamond and Darlington would make a cool collaboration. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. And I put the link in there. I did. Back to I got to reset everything here while I'm resetting everything. We'll go back to the big camera. And Marauder Music says the Porta Studio, and I say yes. He also says, I saw a video where a guy was using a VCR to mix to. Yeah, certain SVHS, the Super VHS, you can record pretty good audio to it. Like if you want to get a good, a little bit of that tape compression kind of sound, you can bounce your mixes out to a SVHS and then record them back in, and you'll get a little bit of that tape sound. And the reason why SVHS is, I think it's because the actual track, the audio track size is slightly bigger, like the dynamic range is slightly better than say a traditional cassette tape. Although, on a good cassette deck, especially if you get a balanced cassette deck, like balanced audio in and out, which Tascam provides those. They're kind of expensive, but sometimes you can find them used for nothing. And that's another great way to do, to get more of an analog kind of thing going. Produce everything digitally and then fly it out to analog and bring it back in and, do it kind of crispy so it's a little bit hot, go into the tape. But yeah, you could do that kind of stuff. Electric Meat Puppet is saying he used to have have a Tascam Porta Studio. Yeah, they're very cool, very very cool. And Marauder Music used to do early tracks with a Porta Studio and a drum machine. He sold. Yeah, dude, that was a good time. I'm also that old. I never used a drum machine though. I used real drums. Put up a bunch of drums, recorded on the 4-track, and then get a mix going, fly it to a stereo track on a tape, and then fly it back. You could bounce it internally as well, but I found I got better results when I flew it out to another cassette deck and like printed the drums stereo to tape, bring them back to a stereo track, have 2 more tracks free, put the guitar and the bass, left and right. And if you wanted, then you could also fly the bass and drums back to tape and bounce them. And, and then you had 2 tracks for guitars, and it's pretty awesome. It's good times. And Gunky Zip is saying he always pays his Patreon loyally. He does. He is a man. You're always welcome here. Does no foul over there. Our gain is set to 6. -6 is the number of the day. What is our next track? What do we got here? 8:41. We're good. Another new one today. We got a few new ones today, which is always nice. And we're going to go to the little camera. And this one comes to us from Los. And Los is from Ontario, California. I'm in Ontario, Canada. We're brothers from different mothers, I suppose. But he's an artist from Southern California. And this is, I think, his first track, which is pretty cool. I took a little bit of listen to it. Got a little bit of it's got a movie kind of feel to it. Feels like it should be in a movie, like supporting a scene. Not really a score piece. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, first track, I think ever done solo, like by himself, his own thing. So here we go.
One, two, three, get it.
Thoughts of You by Los, his first contribution to the Bandless world, and I'm pretty sure his first contribution as a solo artist to the world of music. He's done a bunch of stuff with bands and whatnot previously, but yeah, so big step. Congratulations, Los. Tune sounds good. I'm curious to see where this sort of like this production treatment can go. I think there's a lot of room there for something cool, for, you know, in terms of a body of work and whatnot. So yeah, pretty cool. And back to did I put the link in there? Yes. Back to big camera, back to OBS, back to the gain reset. I need to let you know about the resets. Fabiano, I see you in there. How you doing, man? What's cooking in Brazil? Which area of Brazil are you coming to us from? Are you coming from, Rio or, I know Brazil. Like I know, I just can't think of any cities right now. I have lots of Brazilian friends. And yeah, I'm clearly not a good friend right now. Anyway, I hope you're good. What's cooking down there? Hope the music life is awesome. Queuing up another one here. We got 3 more. It's 8:45. Perfect. We got lots of time. My buddy Artie's coming over. We're going to drink some beers and listen to tunes and talk about guitars, because that's what we do on Friday nights. I drink 0% beers these days because I'm a responsible 51-year-old man. Can you believe I'm 51? It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to get onto it here. I want to get through the tracks so I can hang out in the chat, because the chat looks good today. Damn it. Can only do one thing at a time. Oh, I was supposed to be resetting the game and I didn't. I did now though. Here we go. Bottom right. All right. This is God in America. Definitely another new contribution from from the community and from the world of the Bunn. And this is there's a couple tracks here. Yeah, he's done a track before, back in July 2016 was his last track, and this is his first time back at it. This is like an interesting gap of time. I'd love to know Kenny. His name is Kenny Flores. I'd love to know Kenny's story on that. I had the opportunity because I was talking to him in email. I'm gotta remember to ask him. I'm not sure if he's in the actual chat here tonight. But what happened between 2016 and 2023? Cathedral Sound, that's you. If you could let me know what's the scoop. Like, how come the big break? Not a judgment or anything, just curious. It's a big break. Got busy with life, got busy with other bands, got busy with anything. Who knows? But yeah, another solo artist, fully solo. Last couple were fully solo. Flynn's Ego, Los, and this completely solo projects, produced and everything. So yeah, stoked on this one. Here we go. God in America, 12/4/2020. Perfect length of track. I don't even have to fade out. Very cool. Very cool. I'm definitely, a fan of this, the genre adjacent perhaps to this. I'm really into, things like Shai Hulud and whatnot. The more hardcore side of things, but very melodic. And yeah, I really enjoy this track personally. It's not about what I enjoy, but I just want to say it. I enjoy it. It's good stuff. And excellent work in terms of putting it all together yourself. It sounds produced, it sounds professional, and I expect big things if you keep going. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, seems like the community is definitely also in praise of the production standards and whatnot. Yeah, excellent job. And Kazuki brings up a really great point here. He says the last foreign ZP came out in 2016. Speaking about big breaks, I see what you did there. I did a single in between. I did the Parties single. I don't know what I was thinking when I did the Parties single. It's all diminished. The whole thing is diminished. And that's just not a Foreign's thing. Foreign's like, cross over into diminished occasionally, but is usually, natural minor. And, you can find lots of diminished things, lots of diminished opportunities in the natural minor. Anyway, we won't talk about Foreign's right now. But you do have a good point. It's been a while. Called out on live TV. Cathedral Sound, Kenny Flores, the man, the legend, says there's definitely more on the way. That's awesome. And any word on what the what the break was? Just didn't get around to it, because that can happen too. Always curious about the story behind the thing. Where's my OBS at? I'm still on this page. Damn it. I didn't have to reset the game because Kenny Flores gave me the perfect length track for a Bandless stream. So coming up next, this here is from our resident and master of many projects, the Kazuki Hirotani and his project Sleepy Drifter. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is also Crown Camo on vocals. I was talking earlier, Al Paul's. We kicked off today's show with Al Paul and his project False Gods. And he had, for those of you who were not with us at the very beginning, it was one of his first collaborations with a vocalist, and the vocalist on that track was Crown Camo. Crown Camo is getting around. So we're going to listen to Sleepy Drifter, what they have to offer, what Kazuki has to offer. Kazuki is a producer, guitar player, multi-instrumentalist from Down Under. Is Down Under New Zealand, or is Down Under Australia? And New Zealand is down under. I don't know. Correct me on this stuff. These are things I don't know. Educate me. I need to know. But let's take a listen to the track. Whoa. Are we getting into... Oh, I guess there's multiple tracks. Right. Cool. Interesting to hear some, whatchamacallit, some Sleepy Drifter with vocals, and it's jamming. There was some stuff he did with vocals with Titanosaurus as well in the past, I believe. But yeah, Kazuki, major collaborator, music guy, doing it all the time. It's absolutely amazing how busy this guy is. And it's inspiring as well. It makes me want to make music. And both are Kazuki, both are around vocal, impressed of the vocalist choices range. New Zealand is down below. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Darlington, for the data. So if anybody's wondering, New Zealand is down below, Australia is down under, and New Zealand is down below. Going back to Cathedral Sound, or to whatchamacallit, the God in America track, the story on it, reason there hasn't been anything since 2016 is got married, had a kid, other bands, and I'm also a perfectionist, so it's been a struggle. But thanks to channels like this, I've had inspiration lately to just do the thing. Yeah, man, totally. I know, like, everything that you're talking about here. I could say that a lot of people in this chat right now have, kind of struggled with this exact same thing, maybe different conditions, not necessarily got married, had kids, but like other responsibilities and whatnot. But really that sort of perfectionist thing is the last straw that is like really hard to get over. And I've struggled with that. I know Kazuki Hiratani's struggled with that. And yeah, at some point you're just like, I just want to do the work, because it's better doing the work than sitting on the work, you know? Amazing. Yeah. So Sleepy Drifter, awesome track, awesome sneak peeks. I like it. I got one more while we were listening to the Sleepy Drifter. I realized I got a last minute, what do you call it? Submission. Also new to me, also from New Zealand. This is this you, Kazuki? I don't know what this is. Inform me. I'm going to play it. I got to reset my gain though. Or do I? Yes, I do. 6. Here we go. Come on. Cool riffs. I like Echo Chamber. I think it's very promising in terms of, you know, the future and all that kind of stuff. I like some of like the way that some of the riffs are approached in a particular way. Very cool. Very cool. We have one more track for the night. It is the Bunn. I always put mine at the very end, you know, and squeeze it in, kind of turn it off prematurely. But I do have a new track for today, and it's for my Foreigns project. So Kazuki Hiratani, I'm working on it. I finally have 5 songs for my EP. Now I have to re-record everything and make it an official EP. But here we go. And I'm going to just kind of sneak it in real quick. What do we got here? -6? Perfect. And then we can chat until Artie gets here. Amazing. So there we go. I got a track today. Pretty stoked to be this far along. Now I got to rewrite everything. You know how it is. You know how it is. Yeah. Not in a perfectionist way, but I have 5 tracks that I wrote over a long period of time. And I'm curious how many people do this, but like I go back to them and then I try to make them work as a, as a full EP type of thing. Like I'll add parts, change parts, smooth it all over, find the actual sound of the EP. Over this, I've spent about a year and a half, I guess, on these 5 songs, and I've traveled a lot of territory in terms of looking at guitar tones. I'm looking for the least amount of gain absolutely possible. And I'm realizing that some tracks work really well with this almost clean kind of sound, and some tracks just need, a bit more gain. So I'm not sure how I'm going to approach it in the end. But yeah, do you guys like fully do a full do-over once you have all of your songs written? I do. I think most of my close in-person friends do this, but I don't know. How do other people do it? It's like pre-production. Demos are pre-production, and then in the production, that's when I know more clearly like how I'm going to go about it. And who do we got here? We got Cranky Dragon. Good to see you in there. Glad this actually show up in my stream. They don't usually show until like 2 weeks after. I'm sorry. I'll send an email to YouTube and be like, yo, the notifications, we got to do something. Darlington says you used 1 Wounded Paw instead of 2 for the tone. Definitely. No Wounded Paw on the foreign stuff. Wounded Paw stuff I would use for whatchamacallit, Wetlands. Wetlands is a very Wounded Paw kind of sounding project. Wounded Paw bass, though, I definitely use the Wounded Paw bass 701, which is over there, back there, for the foreign stuff live. It is the live bass amp for foreigns, usually. And Cranky Dragon says you program drums real well. Hey, thanks, man. I play drums. I don't play drums anymore. Since I started on this stuff, I haven't, I guess up until the Metropolitan EP, I was playing drums full time, mostly, like a lot, I guess. I don't know. Just before that, I sold my drums and I just went fully into programming. But I played drums for a really long time. So Paul, totally agree. Drums sound as if they were played by a real drummer. Oh, thanks, guys. And Sean Heath, I'm stoked on new EP. Every bouldering gym I visit, I get them to play foreigns. That's hilarious. But there hasn't been anything new on Spotify for so long. I can't wait to show everybody more foreigns. Oh, amazing. Cool. Yeah, I don't do the Spotify thing until the tunes are actually done. This process of kind of sharing my demos as I go. I really like that. I might try something new for the next batch of songs where the whole demo process, I share everything as like every part by part. Maybe more for Patreon and YouTube members, that kind of thing. Not too sure, but I really love the whole idea of like sharing the demos, some part of it as you go. I find that it allows me to separate myself from my music more and just kind of like look at it objectively while still being able to be an artist in it when I'm working in it. But yeah, I'm perfectly detached from my projects, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's cool, I guess. I like working on it. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm so passionate about foreigns. It's cool. It's a cool project. I like working on it. And I think that helps in terms of making decisions and what we were talking about earlier with, God in America, Kenny Flores's project, Cathedral Sounds project, where, getting stuck in your head in kind of perfectionism and that kind of stuff. I definitely went through that personally. I'm curious if anybody share your story here in the chat. If you had that phase, if you went through that phase of being paralyzed with perfectionism or paralyzed with not knowing how you want to go about it, something like that, what you did to kind of get over it. A lot of people, they just kind of get tired of it, tired of indecision. They're just like, I'm just going to go for it. F it. F all of it. I don't care anymore. But yeah, it's so much nicer to be kind of slightly detached than it is to be overly perfectionist. Marauder music, I seem to never be able to get the vibe I have at the time I recorded it. Going back seems to always fail. Oh, really? I've heard about this. The whole Marauder music is talking about chasing the demo. And this is something that I've heard happens a lot with major label projects, especially where songwriters and, independent producers, whatever, before they get the record deal, the tracks that they got the record deal with, once they get the record deal, they go into the big studio with the fancy budget and all that kind of stuff. And really they do it over and over and over again. They're chasing the demo. They're trying to get the energy, the vibe that they had on the demos. And when I hear those stories, I'm always like, oh, why not just release the demos? If they're that good, they're probably good enough. Kazuki says, I went through that, but you pulled me out of it, Bunn. Oh yeah, I got mad at you. I was like, Kazuki, enough. Just release some music, damn it. It's true. Now you're unstoppable. It's and the creativity is flowing. I'm curious, Kazuki, because it's relatively recent for you. It's it's all kind of fresh in the mind. Do you find now that you're kind of past that whole thinking about it too much and just doing it so much that you're having sort of creative revelations that you've never really had before, because you're just constantly in a creative state, rather than being atrophied, creatively in creative atrophy, where you're just I don't know, because you haven't created in so long because you're so in your head, right? Yeah, I'm curious. Do you find you're able to come up with things now that you just never really were able to come up with before because you're in motion? I think for me, that's definitely a thing. Kazuki, thank you, Sensei. And sometimes the demos are heavier. Yeah, if the demo, I think on whatchamacallit, my Wetlands project, there was one tune where I was the demo, I redid it and I was the demo is way better. And I redid just parts of it so it sounded sonically close enough to the rest of the material. And I think it was the tune Imperial, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure I didn't really redo much with Imperial, and that was exactly it. It was the demo was the shit, and I just stuck with it. And Cathedral Sound says 12/4/2020 is technically the demo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure does it say here demo? No, it doesn't actually say demo. But yeah, I feel like maybe we talked about that, but I've talked to so many people in the last week that I might have that wrong. Let me know. Where's my OBS? Yeah, we're on the camera here. Cool. Rough Refs, Tanner Borglum, everybody is in the house. Hello, y'all. I hope everyone is doing well. We are doing amazing. I hope you're doing well. I got to hang out with Tanner. Tanner and his partner came to Toronto for a day, 2 days, and we got to hang out. We had Detroit style pizza they're from Michigan. And but when they came to Toronto, they're like, there's this place claiming to have real Detroit style pizza. We want to test it out. So we went and had Detroit style pizza, and it was amazing. I think you gave it a solid 8 out of 10, Tanner. But then we toured around some of the university grounds and Queen's Park area, some of the old buildings. Some of the amazing architecture, and hung out for a little while. It was totally awesome to hang out with Mr. Tanner. So yeah, doing super well. Hope you are well. And I'm still buzzing from that visit. Kazuki Hirotani says, I feel so much more free and I just do whatever I want when I want. Having 8 different projects feels super liberating. Yeah, you just put your energy into whatever at the time, like whatever you got. I totally hear you there. Yeah, you're never stuck. There's never a chance for that atrophy, so to speak. Marauder Music says, since I don't have any theory to write with, when the sky parts and that next riff comes, that inspiration in that moment when you're so stoked, it's hard to get that back. It's true. When magic happens, it is definitely hard to kind of, get that feel. I think for my early Foreigns demos, the stuff that I wrote before for the Metropolitan EP, some of the tracks that I originally recorded were definitely like way better than what ended up on the Metropolitan EP. Like, I think those tracks are on my personal Bandcamp. There's a couple of them. But yeah, they're way more punishing and crushing. And yeah, they have that spirit that you're talking about, Marauder, where I was just like so stoked in the moment. But when I was redoing the whole thing, on some of it, I was kind of annoyed because it was too hard. So yeah. Kazuki says, Eminence was done in the span of an hour in a flow state for me. Yeah, the flow state is a magic time. So all those songs, challenges of writing a song in an hour. But yeah, I did that. And I think these 2 sleepy tunes are my best work yet. So stoked to eventually share the full versions. Yeah, man. Get it going. And Kazuki says, trying to follow a release plan to make sure Sleepy gets as much life as it can. Yeah, share everything. Just keep sharing. Keep, meeting people and talking to people and making friends. Friends kind of make the whole thing work, I think. Marauder says, I'm a bit more senior than you, Bunn. Are you really? No way. I don't believe you. You look like a child. And have to say also, the beer makes me feel awful anymore. Hate how I feel during and after I pound flavored seltzer these days as if it were beer. Yeah. I'm going to try a different 0% beer tonight. A Grolsch 0%. I've had it before, but the 0% that I have been drinking lately are making me super bloated. And I'm just like, God, like, is the universe going to take another thing away from me? Like, I love my beers. I don't care if there's alcohol in it. I love my beers. I don't need alcohol to enjoy them, but man, the bloat has been so real, so brutal. And so I'm trying a different brand, hoping that it's just a brand problem. Kazuki says, my goal is to release Eminence as the first single on the 14th of June, my birthday. Oh, stoked. I love that. I released something on my birthday. I think it was the Wetlands EP. Pretty sure that was on my birthday one year. It's a buzz to do. Marauder Music says he's 57. Are you kidding me? Dude, you look friggin' great. Whatever you're doing, man, stoked. That's crazy. And you're still making ripping tunes too. Dude, you are an icon. And Kazuki says, can't do beer. Doesn't know why. Just not compatible. I'm more of a bourbon guy. Yeah, I know a few. I got a few friends that are more like sipping bourbon, sipping whiskey, that kind of thing. And Marauder says, I get the universe taking it away. Yeah, it's so many things in the last couple of years. I just can't live the life that I used to live. I didn't even live a crazy life. That's the thing. That's, I think, why it's frustrating. It just, things don't work. Things start working differently as you go through time. I don't think it's in my head. I think it's actually like physical stuff. Rough Riff says, sometimes I find myself in a fun trap where I'm so into the riff, I'll play variations on it for hours. It's almost meditative, but can block forward progress on the whole song. Yeah, I know that one. You get sort of obsessed with like the possibilities within one idea. And you're like, no, I just want to keep it going because it feels good. And Marauder, exercise too, diet. Yeah, exercise and diet have changed quite a bit for me this last year especially. Me and the chick, we go for walks every day. We never did that before. We never did that before at all, and I like it. It's nice. And Kazuki, Bunn looks like he's in his late 20s. Thank you. These lines, I could get some filler in those lines. My eyes, they're all crazy. My teeth, like, what's interesting, something I never thought would happen. My teeth were already like kind of crooked, but now my jaw is crowding, and apparently it's just a thing that happens as you get older because your bones start shrinking. I'm like, great, another thing. Universe, I'm telling you. Anyway, that's all we got for today. I think I'm going to shut her down here. 9:18. Artie should be here shortly. And what do we got? I don't know. It doesn't really say. But I got to break all this stuff down because there's stuff everywhere. You don't really see it, but there is. There's things everywhere. So yeah, I'm going to... Marauder Music says, why erase the wisdom? Why erase my age? It's true. Yeah, I'm into getting older, to be honest. I spent so much of my life looking like I was barely 20 and always complaining. Like it was always a bit of a problem. Like people don't take you seriously. And, yeah, like things like getting jobs or getting picked for anything because you look like a child and you look irresponsible or you look dumb, you know. At least this was the experience that I seem to have. Maybe I was reading into it the wrong way. I don't know. But it wasn't until my 40s, like mid 40s, where I noticed things changed and people would give me time. Like, also in my mid 40s, I actually knew stuff. You know, I'd done enough things. I'm like, oh, I know how to do a few things. Like I have some experience in life. So there's probably that too. And Uni says, get a dog, 3 daily walks guaranteed. I could never. The dog, I couldn't bring myself to scooping the poop. I do not want to scoop the poop. And in Toronto, like walking around with a bag of poo until you find somewhere to throw it away like a garbage can or something. I just, I get it though. In terms of the motivation to walk, it definitely works. Entropy happens. It does. And Gunky Zip says, nice to be with you all. Very nice to be with you as well, sir. I hope you're well. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. Here in Toronto, the weather today was really nice, and I hope it persists throughout the weekend. Get on a few more walks. And Rough Riff says, oh, Paul, good luck with the riff flow. Your posts about your tools are cool. Yeah. By the way, I guess let's connect on the Instagram. I don't even know what my Instagram handle is, to be honest. I'll put it in there though, because kind of add me, send me a message, be like, hey, it's me from the stream. And I would love to connect with everybody more, because I'm so bad at doing that. It's just the bunn.ca. And I guess at me on Insta. Artie's here, guys. Whoa. I'm going to shut her down. Who else did I not say hello to? Or Yune, I hope you're good. I don't think I saw you earlier in the stream. And am I missing anyone? I'm not. Okay. Gang, I'm cutting it out. Like I say, add me on Instagram and send like a DM like, hey, it's this person, because I recently kind of went through my Instagram and I'm like, there's so many people here that I'm connected with. I have no idea who they are. And we've never exchanged a message. It was just like in passing. I don't know. So, I'd love to connect with people, because I'm bad at doing that. Reaching out. I'm so bad at reaching out. So let's do it. I'm out of here. I hope you have a good weekend and make some riffs and get your tracks ready for the next Bandcamp Friday, which is actually going to be Juneteenth in June. I'll post a message about it. But have a good night. Bye.